Welcome back
Woo!
to the Wisdom Well. Okay, come on. Welcome back. My name is Larry Walker.
I'm LJ Holyfield, and we are back here at the Wisdom Well
Y'all been
podcast.
asking.
Season 2, we're back.
We back. We did take a small hiatus
Yeah.
to do projects and for
Yes.
good things,
Yes,
right?
yes.
I mean,
This summer was a very busy summer, man.
It
Like
was,
I
very
was on
purposed.
tour. You had a lot of obligations going on.
yes.
Our good homie and producer AJ went back home to Brazil.
did, yeah.
So we needed to take a little break and also,
So we're all-
kind of come back and talk about some topics that were
Exactly.
super important.
We're all rested. We're all tanned.
Yes,
you know
yes,
what I'm saying?
tanned.
And some
Yeah.
more than others.
It was, it was a really good summer. It was a really good summer.
blessed summer. Really blessed summer.
Leading us to our topic of the day. And before we start,
Okay.
I want to thank all of our subscribers for
Yeah.
subscribing, for
Thank you.
liking, for tuning in. Thank you for coming back.
Yep.
Again, and we've gotten a lot of comments, and
Yep.
people say, "Yo, when are you guys coming back?"
I know.
Like
They were
what's-
like, it's been a long time
Mhm.
since we left you. We left you with a no beat to step
right?
to.
Are y'all coming back?
I know.
So
we
yeah.
have been. We've been missing you guys so much, and
Yeah.
and again, tell a friend, and actually,
Yes.
hopefully, it'll give you some time to catch up on the other episodes, which I feel are really incredible. I think we've
Yes.
heard time and time again how you guys have been blessed by those, and they will
Yes.
be available to you guys. Please check them out.
Yeah, people have talked a lot about you meeting Prince and not telling and not telling me that you met Prince. Which
That was
is,
like Prince Gate. It was like Prince Gate.
Princegate.
Prince Gate. It was like they ain't friends. They ain't friends. It was like, but yeah, I did
Yeah.
keep that one
I
super
still can't
close to
believe-
the
I can't
chip.
believe you. I just can't believe it. But we are back, the Wisdom
Yep.
Well podcast.
Yep.
We are excited. We're gonna be back on every Friday, so please
Yep.
subscribe. Please tune in every Friday. We want to be back.
Yep.
This is season 2. We're figuring out our format. We're trying to learn how we want to, put our content out and,
Yep.
and what's the best way for us to get our message out and to do the thing that we want to do. So,
Exactly, and what you guys like,
Yep,
what
yep.
you guys want more of, and so we appreciate all the feedback, all the positive feedback, and
Engagement,
we're still
yes.
learning. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Because again, the Wisdom Well podcast is about engaging. We want to have you guys tell us what you guys want to talk about.
Yeah.
Like what do you want us to talk about? Like there's a
Exactly.
lot of topics out there that we can just jump into. Some personal stuff, some mental health stuff, some physical, physical exercising and emotional things.
Yeah,
Like we
yeah.
want to tackle a bunch of topics.
Yeah.
And we're excited to do it. We're excited to do it.
Exactly. Which leads us to today. I
Today.
think today we were wanting to kind of just really just chat about a little bit of mental health, right?
Yeah. We wanted
speaking of the
to
break.
Yeah, we wanted to recap our summer.
Yep.
And talk about the lessons that we've learned.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And on a mental health tip, we wanted to explain or just share like
Yep.
what did we learn that this summer that really affected us mentally, emotionally, and were there any takeaways from this summer that you could say, okay, I would like to keep that or take that or build on that
Yeah.
moving forward.
Absolutely.
So how was your summer? Like how you feel about your summer?
Blessed. I really, really had a great summer. I think I stepped into sort of a newer position and
Okay.
and just had an opportunity to really work with some really amazing people
Okay.
and build some new systems just for like within the realm of a faith-based organization. And
Okay.
and so I've been really feel like I've been thriving in that and
busy.
doing well. Yeah.
And he's been busy, y'all. He's been busy.
working.
Yeah.
But it's been fantastic to try to jump in
Mm-hmm.
and also to partner with people that are so talented
Mm-hmm.
and then also to challenge and shift and I've felt stretched, in a good way and
Mm-hmm.
challenged in a good way and just learning more about leadership. I love leadership. I really do. I want to be a
And you're
better
good at it,
leader.
too.
Oh man, I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah.
So I really want to be a better leader, and I've been really just going through the process of how do you do that? How do you do that well, and how do you push individuals and yourself to a greater level when sometimes, man, it's not as comfortable.
Preach.
So how do you
Yeah.
and also too, how do you and I think I've talked to some of my teammates
Hmm.
about this, but just how do we ensure that I'm able to actually participate in the community that I'm co-laboring with them to
Yeah.
build and with God to build.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
because again I am in the faith space.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think that's one of the things that's been really, really great and sort
Hmm.
of learning through. So I've had a great time. How about you?
Oh man! By the way, that's really good. I
Thanks,
mean, you're
man.
an excellent leader. I
Oh
happen
man, I
to
appreciate it,
be
man.
a co-laborer with you
You
in this
are,
faith space.
dude.
And I'm always
One of
grateful
the
when you
best.
bring me in and to partake and
Yeah,
to impart things that I've experienced and
yeah.
things that I can offer. It's always great to see you thriving, bro.
Oh
And I
man,
see
appreciate it.
how God is really moving on you, bro. And it's really good to
And
see.
they
It's
love
really
you
good.
too. So they love you. They love
I
you.
love them too. I love them too. Ah man, and I shared this with you like maybe a couple
Yep.
of weeks ago, as far as a little quote that I felt like I heard and I was feeling, and that quote was basically like everything around you is changing, but evolution is optional,
Ooh.
right? Like change is
That's good.
inevitable, but evolution is optional.
Wow, please, you got to unpack that. You got to unpack
And that's
that.
what you said the other day.
You got to unpack that.
Man,
Come
like
on.
this summer was one of the most. I've been touring since I was, I don't know, 20 years old, 21 years old. Touring with some major artists and
Yeah.
some legacy artists and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
like I think the world is changing in a way that is forcing you to stretch. And I feel like this summer I was at a crossroads, and we'll talk about more, of this in future
Yeah.
episodes coming up.
Yeah.
But I was forced to kind of like have a decision to evolve.
Yeah.
Like either you're gonna change with the times and evolve,
Wow.
or stay the same, and
Mhm.
that can be a very hard task. To
Very
say,
hard.
yo, like, nah, I'm gonna stay the same. Like I don't want to change into this. I don't want to move into AI, or I don't
Yeah.
want to move into what the music industry is doing.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
evolution is optional. Like you have a choice to evolve or not.
You
You
do.
know,
You
and I
do.
think that's a tricky little spot. Like
Yeah.
you can evolve and grow, or you can say, I'm going to stand 10 toes down on like what I've been doing.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that there is it's a crossroads there. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is.
And so that was one of my lessons learned this summer of like, LJ, you got to learn to evolve and maybe not
Wow.
try to dig into everything like TikTok, you know what I'm saying? Or dances or whatever,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Yeah.
try to evolve, like try your best to evolve into becoming your best self.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
that will require some stretching at points,
Man.
that will require some crying at points, or really coming to like that fork in the road where it's like, you know what, that's really not for me. Like I want to grow, but that's not my path anymore. Like
Exactly.
that's not.
Exactly.
And I don't know if you've ever been here before, but like there were some desires that I had at 20 that I don't have at 40.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's
Yeah.
some things that I really, really wanted
Yeah.
at 20 years old. Like, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to have that or to do this, right?
Exactly.
And you get to a certain age and you're like, I'm cool off that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I'm cool.
It's not important, and it's not, or you just get to a space where you're like, that's not what I want. I've seen greater. I've seen,
Mhm.
or either you get it, and then you're like, okay, what next?
What now?
Yeah.
And it
It
didn't have
wasn't
that
what
fulfillment,
it didn't
that
have
you
the level of
thought
fulfillment.
you was gonna have. So I
Yeah.
think I'm evolving in some ways
Yeah.
that I felt like this summer taught me to
Mhm.
evolve in some ways,
Yeah.
and to think outside of even what I thought was capable.
Yeah,
You
me
know what I
too.
mean? And to encourage myself sometimes, because you
Mhm.
don't have all the right encouragement sometimes when you're changing.
Speak on
Yeah,
it. Speak on
you know
it.
what I'm saying? Like
And
when you're,
sometimes it's like your change
yeah.
to the greatest, or the obedience to the change that you're
Mm.
supposed to be at.
Mhm, mhm.
That doesn't always like
Oof.
make everybody
Man,
comfortable, and
man.
it also doesn't bless everybody.
Oof.
And I
Yeah,
think that
yeah.
like, so you've got to have the balance. I
And you know
think.
what's crazy? Because there's gonna be some people that gotta also hop into that change.
Yeah.
Like some friends or some
Yeah.
close ones,
Yeah.
or old habits that you have.
Yeah.
They can't fit into that new season.
Yeah, exactly. Are they a friend for this chapter, or are they a friend for the duration
Yes, that's correct.
of the story?
And everything can't go. Everything can't go into
Come
that
on.
new season.
And
You
some
know
of
what
the
I'm saying?
heartbreak that we cause ourselves is trying to pull people
Ooh,
into that
Lord.
season with us because we love them,
Oh.
And I think feel like that's really a thing. Like, are we honoring ourselves when we're trying to pull all these people inside? And it's
I
like,
don't think so.
yeah,
I can't call it, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because it's tough.
gosh, it's
tough,
really
brother.
tough
It's
to
tough.
isolate and to see it and to be obedient to, or to be like honoring, whether you want to say obedient or honoring to what is the right thing
Yes.
to do. Because sometimes it's like you will be pulling dead weight into the next season, and it's actually hurting you.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you're not hurt. That individual is not being hurt. You're being hurt.
Yeah.
And
That's a lot of weight to
Yeah,
pull,
it's a
bro.
lot.
That's
It's
a
a
lot
lot.
of weight to
It's a lot.
pull.
Yeah.
Moving to your new season,
Exactly.
and that's what I was saying. Like that was a message for me. Like
Yeah.
change is happening, but
Mhm.
evolution is optional. Like it's up to you to evolve. It's up, you know what I mean? Because things are going to change regardless.
Oh, regardless.
Regardless. Like we just walked into AJ's
Yeah,
place
yeah.
today, and it's all new. Like he done changed the whole setup. You right? But like, are we going to evolve?
Yeah.
With this thing, like,
Yeah.
are we going to evolve into our new season?
Yeah.
And so that's a big message, man. Like I'm glad I had a really good summer, really busy,
That's
really, really, really busy. But
Yeah.
learning that, you know what, LJ, it's time to evolve into some things that may be scary, that may be a little bit even frightening. You know what I mean?
What is one thing that you feel
I knew
like
you was gonna- I
I'm
knew
gonna ask you. What is
I-
one area that you feel comfortable to share?
Of course.
That you are having to evolve in?
It is okay if everyone doesn't like you. It is okay.
That's so good. Okay, you on it, because I literally was like, what? I saw this post and it said something to the effect of, I know that I've come to a level of maturity when I'm okay with being the villain in your story.
It is okay.
And there
that
you
is-
go.
And that is hard
Yeah.
for me to say out my mouth. If I'm being
that's really
completely
tough.
a buck with you.
Because I come from I was a president of the People Pleaser Club.
committee.
The president of the
Yeah.
People Pleaser Club.
Larry,
And-
when I tell you that was one of these one of those evolving moments. It's like, LJ, you want to be liked so bad.
Yeah.
And you want to please people and make people laugh and be happy.
Yeah.
But it is deterring you
Yeah.
from the things that I got for you,
Yeah.
and the things that is purposeful for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's okay if these people were there for a season,
Mhm.
but you don't have to please every
Yeah.
single freaking body. Like you
Body.
don't
You-
have to do that.
Can we go like a little bit
just getting
into a
started.
space that's like a little bit
We just getting started.
deeper? That's a little bit challenging. A question I want to pose out to the Wisdom Well community. Just a sidestep, which is, as an African American
Yes.
man, like
Yeah.
I feel like, just honestly, there are a lot of just sort of stereotypes and a lot of like, things that are just outswimming in perceptions, And I feel like sometimes some of that people pleasing spirit, it comes from, it's trying to compensate from such a negative sort of portrayal
that's a
in
deep
the
one. That's a
world,
deep one. Yeah.
So is there a pressure that, and I'll speak in statements, sometimes there's a pressure to feel like you need to like combat that negative image of
Gotcha.
of the African American male.
Yeah.
And we're talking as just men. We're not trying to talk about everybody else, because everybody has their own things that they're navigating. But I feel like that maybe that's a piece of it, like that sort of desire to please people and sort of in our spaces, because our spaces are global, interracial spaces.
Yes. Yeah.
And so maybe it's a little bit of that, just feeling of like needing to make sure that that the door stays open
That's
for us.
That's a great question.
So I'm curious.
Because we're not afforded the doors like other cultures.
Yeah. You feel like the
as
doors are limited.
very much so. Very
And
much so.
and
And that's not making an excuse. That's not
no.
that's not saying
Nope.
that's not blaming any one culture. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But there are times where you don't feel like every door I can open because I'm a
Mhm.
black American tall male. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and
Or your stature might create
yeah, a little bit of fear for other
yeah,
people,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Because I've come into rooms before where just because I'm 270 pounds
And you six
and
foot
I'm
something?
6 foot
Yeah.
and so the energy
Can change.
it can shift and it can change and then so you just try to figure out
How
how to navigate that. Yeah,
and that's crazy. I never thought about that, but that
yeah,
is crazy
yeah,
because sometimes we try to be a little bit, we try to diminish our light a little bit
yeah,
to not be so overpowering,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And that's that like factor, right? It's like
Oof.
I want to be liked in this room, so I don't want
Yeah,
to.
you want to fit
I don't.
in
I
this
don't. I don't.
room.
Yeah, I don't want to. I
Yeah.
don't want to stand out in this room.
Which
you
is
know?
but it's hard because then it's like are you going to be obedient,
Mm.
are you
I
going to be
wonder how many.
obedient to
I wonder how many of us
feel
black.
that way?
Yeah. hmm
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah, because
Wisdom Wellers, let us know. Like I'm
being
interested.
creative and like massively and talented and I mean these could be perceived as weapons, in the wrong spaces,
Wow.
so it's almost like you have to. I would think about okay, so not and here we go, here we go,
Here we go.
here we go.
just got back. Here
I
we go.
just think that like this is an amazing topic because we wanted to talk more about mental health
Yes.
and about people. I think that that's a really huge thing.
Yeah.
But just the thought processes that people have
Mhm.
and the things that people have to navigate in order to be their best selves
Mm.
and watching for those sort of landmines of
Yes.
the world and
Yeah.
the marketplace.
Yeah.
When you are talented,
Mhm.
how can you survive and be your best self
Mm.
and your greatest self
Mhm.
without fear of
Mhm.
or intimidation?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
and I think that that is a piece. Like you want to be liked. You don't want to step on people's toes. You
Right.
don't want to outshine.
Yeah.
You want to partner.
Yeah. Yeah.
But sometimes the act of partnering is so hard to
Oof.
get to that point
Oof.
where you're partnering because
Yeah.
creativity, it just breeds a lot of sort of ego sometimes,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know?
Of
So,
course. And
yeah.
then also we're like you said, we're working in a space full of different races. You know what I'm saying? And different, different type of people. And you don't
Yeah.
ever want to be in a space where someone is working with you out of spite or just,
Yeah.
or don't really want to work with you,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you're a different color or you're a different stature, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
like,
yeah.
so
You want the love. You want the creativity. You want
yeah,
the
you
best.
want it
you
to
want the
flow.
highest.
You
wanna
want
be
it to flow.
challenged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's it. That's good. And I wonder how many of us deal with that on a date. I know for me, I'll speak in I statements as well.
yeah.
I don't typically, and I said this the other day to you, like
Mhm.
I don't always feel intimidated in circles. Like I just don't like that's not part of
good.
my personality. However, I do feel like I don't want to outshine people here. I don't ever want to be
Mm.
bigger than anyone in this room. Like that's not while I ever walk into
Yeah.
any session or
Mhm.
or on stage or I always want to feel confident in my
Yeah, yeah,
abilities.
yeah.
I always want to feel confident in myself.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be too big to where people feel like, "Yo, who is that?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't ever want to do that.
And can I
But
poke a little bit? Can I
sure,
poke a little
sure,
bit?
sure.
Okay, so you just did that to me. Wow. It's tough.
Yeah,
because
it is. It
That's
is.
tough because for you, because
But
I see it in
it's
an
that, though.
ensemble standpoint, in a standing. Like when you play in a band and you're in an ensemble, you want to make sure that you're level setting with your people and
Yeah,
not
yeah.
and following direction.
Mhm.
And yet also too, you also need to bring your full self.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and the thing about it, Elder, is like, I mean, your full self is going to be greater. It's just gonna be. But I'm learning.
but
I'm
you feel
trying to
me?
learn in leadership.
Yeah.
How do you live at a level where like I want the greatest part of you?
Yes.
Like
yes.
your shine does not intimidate me.
Yes.
And and actually it enhances
Come on. Come
the
on.
the encounter or the moment
Yeah.
or whatever it is,
Letting you
creatively.
be great.
Yes, because it's like I need all of you,
Mhm.
and trying to dim you before you shine. It's like that's hard work.
You're
Like
right.
if you
You're
just
right.
unleash, and I think that's the piece. It's like how many leaders in our midst can really just allow you to be fully you.
Wow. Wow.
I remember there's this gentleman. I remember going to this and I am because I'm in the faith space. So some of my analogies and some of my stories are going to be within that space.
Mhm.
But this is a welcome space to everyone.
Mhm.
I remember a gentleman who I have so much respect for had a small group of individuals that were gathering for church,
Okay.
in his home, and I remember being invited to attend this gathering,
Mhm.
and there were, I mean, so many wise people, creative,
Mm.
wise, like
Mm.
they know all the things,
Mhm. Mhm.
and I just remember, that individual who was the leader who had invited all and gathered all and cared and was responsible for all these amazing people. He was getting ready to share what he felt was impressed on his
Mhm.
heart to
Mhm.
share with the group, and as he's sharing, people are like, kind of interjecting and making his point for him, and
Oh,
then it just kind
I
of went into.
hate that. I
But no, but
hate that.
here's the beauty
Okay.
of
Oh,
it.
okay.
Here's the beauty of it.
There's beauty
That
in it.
most
Okay.
people would naturally be
Yes.
like, hey,
Yeah.
let me make
Don't,
my
yeah.
point.
Yes.
Let
Yeah.
me do
Yeah.
this. Let me make
Yeah.
my point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Come, okay, all right. Let me make
That's
my
something.
point.
That's a
I'm
pet
the
peeve
leader
of
here.
mine.
I'm
Go
the
ahead,
leader
sir.
here.
Yeah.
I'm the leader.
Hey,
And then
as you can see, you
he-
just triggered me so bad. I hate speaking. Don't speak for me.
man,
That
this brother was phenomenal.
okay.
He
Okay.
he did not that he welcomed that.
Okay.
And so,
Okay.
but what the end result was a higher level discussion with
Okay.
where people were interjecting,
Okay.
and they were actually
Okay.
like
It turned out.
taking the points higher.
Oh, I see. I
And so there
see.
wasn't competition
Uh-huh.
around he needed to be the one to share everything.
Yes. Okay.
And
Got
so I
you.
think that like
Got you.
that was a learning sort
Mhm.
of lesson for me, because I was like, wow, like he could have easily been like, hey, let me,
Yeah. Yeah.
but he
Yeah.
didn't. He actually was like, no, that's right.
Wow.
It's like that is incredible that as a leader, you're to be leader of leaders.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's hard.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh
To
yeah.
not be intimidated by these leaders that probably had the same level of
Come on.
knowledge
Yeah.
as him. He actually was giving a space for them to increase the value of what he was building. And then here I am as a visitor being super duper blessed, and then also
Wow.
being like, and then being blessed and seeing his leadership abilities.
Yes. Yes.
Like that he was not
Yeah.
afraid
Yeah.
of someone feeling like he wasn't the smartest person in the room.
Mm.
And I think
Those aren't the
that's
greatest leaders anyway. To be
oh
completely
my gosh.
keep it a buck with you. Those
Yeah.
those aren't
Yeah.
the greatest leaders.
Those aren't the world changers.
no.
Those aren't the world changers. And
Right.
I'm realizing
Yeah.
that that's the thing. It's like, especially when you have experiences
World
where
changer. I like that. Yeah.
like when you're going across the world and you're,
Mhm.
and then you're wanting to you're building something
Mhm.
brand spanking new. It's
Mhm.
like I constantly am hearing just the greatest people. I have the privilege of being around some really great leaders too,
Mhm. Mhm.
and they're constantly saying how that they just basically have the skill set to hire greater leaders than themselves,
Yeah.
or they
Yeah.
bring people into the space that are greater than themselves and smarter, and they're allowing them to run. So I think that that's a huge deal.
That's the
So
greatest gift that a leader could ever give you. The ability to run.
the ability to run. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah.
I like
So
this.
that's it. I know we talked way longer, but this is
we are
this is
back.
definitely worth it.
We are back.
How long has it been?
I know. How long has it been? I don't even know how long.
We
It's
got
24
we
minutes.
got a lot to share. We got a lot to share.
Yeah, we wanted to come in and do a quick one, but man, I'm so happy
Absolutely.
we're back. I'm so happy we're back, bro. Like,
Me too.
People like, are y'all still friends? Are y'all still cool? Absolutely.
We had a falling out.
Yeah.
No,
Never.
no, we didn't.
Never.
The only falling out was that I couldn't see him
Yeah,
all the time.
I
He was
know,
on tour, and I was praying for him every day.
And
'cause
it is greatly
this guy's a
appreciated. You already know,
talented-
and vice versa, man.
Nah, man.
Like I am super excited about this new season of the Wisdom
Me
Well
too.
podcast
Me
and what
too.
we're gonna, to do and to try to help some young black men, some musicians,
Yeah.
and also get help and also able to open up and share some stories and stuff, man.
Absolutely, man.
And also possibly get some endorsement. Blue Bottle. If you're around, I don't know if y'all ever had. I know I got some people out of the country who's watching this. So if you ever get to LA, or if you have ever had Blue Bottle coffee,
It's good.
Blue Bottle. We need an endorsement, and my boy Larry needs an endorsement too.
The coldest water bottle. Okay, let me tell you.
We working on
the
sponsorships.
coldest water bottle. 3 days. I'm telling you, I put ice in this. This ice
3
in this
days
been here for
cold?
like 3. Oh yeah, bro.
Freezing cold or just
Freezing cold. Yeah, I'm a cold person. I like cold drinks and beverages.
Yeah, I
so
can't, I can't
that's
drink.
me.
If I don't have no ice in it, I probably can't have it.
Yeah, I'm not doing
Or it got to be really hot.
Yes.
All right. Yo, this is the Wisdom Well podcast. We are back. My name is LJ.
My name is Larry.
We are happy you guys have tuned in.
So glad.
Thank you for showing up, man. We love y'all. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for just supporting us.
Yeah.
It really means a lot. And we're excited about season 2.
So excited. So we'll see you guys soon. God bless you guys.
Peace.